Avi, so tell me, what are you some of why did I just butcher that sentence? Avi, so tell me, what are some of your pet peeves?
Man, I don't even know where to begin. I have a lot. I think one of them, top three, I would say excessive coughing.
Okay.
You
You
know,
mean
when,
like if someone just can't stop coughing?
yeah, when someone just keeps coughing and coughing and like, it's like, all right, I remember like once in elementary school, some girl or someone kept coughing. I'm like, all right, can you stop coughing? And I got in trouble.
Now that I think about it, sometimes when I cough, you always kind of get annoyed. So you're annoyed at sounds, like if somebody chews loud, like you'd get annoyed at that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But it's something about that coughing sound or like when someone sneezes. Yeah. And it's like, all right, drink water or like, take a deep breath. And, it's like, it just never, there's like no end to it. It's
Okay.
like a sneeze, it's a one time thing. Well, I also don't like those habitual sneezers that just like, all right, we get it. Bless you. How many times can you say that, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like they start sneezing and you say bless you,
Bless you.
bless you. Now I start saying bless you times 5 just so I don't have to say it repeatedly?
You know what? They only get one bless you. They don't deserve multiple bless yous
No, it's okay. I don't mind saying bless you times
because then it gets watered
10
down.
times 5, you know. But I see what you're saying because it's like, you know, but I'll tell you some of my pet peeves.
All right, well, I'm not. I have a whole list, but go ahead.
Well, we're going to take turns. We're not going to just say this is titled Avi's pet peeves.
All right, all right.
My pet peeve, when people put you under pressure and say, "Hey, tell me a funny story," like when you're on a date for the first time, let's say. "Hey, tell me a funny story." Or, even if you're hanging out with people, like let it come naturally. I don't like it's put so much pressure because I do have a lot of funny stories. But when someone says, "Tell me a funny story," suddenly my mind goes blank. And I feel like it's the same way. Like I have a whole list of movies I need to watch, but as soon as I sit down to try to unwind and like pick something, all of a sudden that list just goes away. I'm like, like, what do I watch?
Yeah, or if you're on a date and the girl's like, I'm such a movie buff, and then you're like, oh yeah, me too, because you really are. Let's say, right?
I really am.
And then she's like, oh well, like give me a good movie to watch, and then you're like, oh, I
Well,
don't
no,
know.
that's different. I have like a list of movies I like that I could tell. But I guess that's for everybody's
Isn't that the
different.
same thing then? If
No,
you have
no,
a whole
no,
list,
no, because I have a list of movies that I've already seen. I'm saying movies that I have to see.
okay.
But
So
that's
what
just an
movie?
example. I was just using that as an example. But when people say like, "Tell me something funny,"
Yeah, I don't like that.
I feel like,
I
like what
can
do I
see how that's a
say?
pet peeve. That is a pet
That's
peeve.
kind of annoying. I felt very annoyed when I was on there
Yeah, it's like what do you?
when I was in that position because again, when I hang out with my friends and I loosen up, I have a million funny stories. It just happens. It's just like when somebody
You're
says,
known for your funny
"I'm
stories.
known for some funny stories," but when I just thought of another one just now. But oh man, that was I'm not gonna say
You gonna
much,
share
but
it?
it was the Saint Martin Uri story. But that's just one example. I could have used that. Oh man. Anyway,
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter. The point is that when somebody says, and first dates are kind of like you're getting to know the person. You're not 100% yourself. You're kind of like reserved. You know. Oh yeah, tell me something. Tell me a funny story. It's like I'm drawing a blank. It's social pressure.
yeah, like, well, what are you, a clown? You're just supposed to
I
stand
know.
up there and give them skits.
What am I supposed to entertain you? Like, am I here to entertain you or something?
I know, right? It's like, who are they to?
Who are
Who
they?
do they think they are?
Who do
Tell
they?
me a funny story. Like, what? I'm here to make you laugh at 24 hours.
Yeah, and if they're watching, yeah, we told you, and not to your face, but
Yeah, because we
indirectly.
wouldn't be able to do it to your face.
We could, but we just don't
Yeah,
like the confrontation.
yeah, it's better to do it behind someone's back.
Yeah. All right, give me another one.
Another one.
I feel like you don't like coughing so much that you could say that twice.
That's probably my top pet peeve is when someone just excessively coughs.
It's like when Brad Pitt said the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, and then the second rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. For Avi, it's pet peeve number one, excessive coughing. Pet peeve number two, excessive coughing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. That's really
No, but come on, give us another one.
another one I would say is excessive air conditioning.
Okay, I could see that.
You know, when you go into a big department store, and I'm glad those department stores are getting closed down. Like I'm all for jobs and all that stuff, but like who needs them? It's just a big like you ever go to Kohl's?
I actually like Kohl's.
You do?
I like Kohl's
I
because
wanna like Kohl's, but
no,
I just hate it.
no, I'll tell you why I like Kohl's because I really feel comfortable returning my Amazon packages. I swear, I don't know
It
why.
is very
Like,
convenient, yeah. It's not as good as it's not as easy to do in Whole Foods.
I don't know. Like, I avoid Whole Foods because, first of all, Whole Foods is not even my favorite supermarket.
Yeah, I hate Whole Foods.
ShopRite's my favorite
Whole
supermarket.
Foods is very pretentious.
Whole Foods is very pretentious. I don't mind going to Whole Foods,
I don't mind.
but the reason why I avoid returning my Amazon packages there is because I'm just afraid there's gonna be a long customer service line. But Kohl's is so empty. It's, you know what it is with Kohl's? I see like, do we see soccer moms at Kohl's?
Not even. That's the
Not even,
sad
right?
part. It's like
But the thing is, like Kohl's, and look, I give them props because when you return the Amazon package, they give you a receipt that says $5 off.
it's like, ooh, you want to use it, but
You
like,
want to
you
use
never
it.
do.
I totally have the itch to use it, but the problem with Kohl's is I don't know. You know what? I think we need to give Kohl's a chance. I did buy a pair of Adidas sweatpants there a long time ago that I really liked. But I feel like most of the time when I feel like I want to buy something, it feels like there's so much. But when you're really looking, there's not much, like nothing I'd want.
Yeah,
But there's something weirdly comfortable and cozy about Kohl's that I like going there to return my Amazon packages.
because there's no one there and it's quiet. That's why it's so comfortable.
Maybe, but
It's like a library with
it's
clothes.
it's like a library with clothes. I love that. I love that. No, there. Look, come on. Let's not totally trash Kohl's here because they do have people there. People do buy from Kohl's. I see lines sometimes. Sometimes it could get a little busy, but you know, it's such a big store that even when it gets a little busy, it doesn't bother me. You know,
How often do you go there that you see all these
I
different
return a lot of
moods of?
Amazon packages.
Oh, so no, you know what's sad? It's like most people that go in and they purposely put the return all the way in the back, hoping that you might be like, "Ooh, look at this coffee maker! I'll
Dude,
buy it."
let me tell you something.
These flip flops.
I love department stores because yeah, okay.
You're very nice.
They
I
provide
think you're just being
jobs.
generous.
Actually, no, hold on a second. I think I want them to exist because, jobs, I guess, but I don't like department stores. I liked Nordstrom when it was around because they sold some cool stuff.
No,
But
it's around, but it's like dying out.
I like going to clothing stores that are just smaller,
Yeah.
easier to kind of cruise through. Department stores are overwhelming. They're huge. I get lost. I don't even know where to look. And I get exhausted after visiting like 3 sections. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. This is too intimidating. I got to get out of here. And then I go to the food court at the mall. But you know what? We got to make an effort. We got to make a promise that we're going to give Kohl's a chance. All right.
Well, I'm gonna buy some sweatpants. I do need a new pair of
You know what?
sweatpants.
I also want a new pair of sweatpants. Like, I mean, to be fair, I did check out to see if they have sweatpants like a month or two ago. I didn't see anything I liked, even at the Adidas section. But we're gonna give them another chance. We're gonna look around the whole store, not just sweatpants. We're gonna look at everything.
I tried, man. I really tried.
Did you? You really did?
I went to look for sneakers. I needed some new sneakers for the gym. Nothing. Just straight up.
You know what annoys me as well? TJ Maxx or Marshalls, because I feel like places like that, they either have way
Oh,
too
those
many.
are they're
No, no, hold
legit.
on a second. They either have way too many good things or they have
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know, there's like no in between. And I get disappointed when they have nothing because you go there with that energy, like, yeah, I want to browse around, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, I feel like TJ Maxx is like they took random clothing from like people's closets and just shoved it in the store.
Well, that's the idea, right? They buy it from, you know,
Yeah, but it's so random. It's like you have like a shirt and like oversized pair of jeans. It's like
yeah,
so or and then like every time like no, I used to buy like underwear there, but lately it's like you go and the boxes are open, there's like one missing and it's
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's why I don't feel comfortable buying underwear at a place like that.
well, you got to wash your underwear. But I'm not going to buy open box underwear.
No, I don't care. Like, I buy the underwear and I'll wash it,
Yeah.
sure. But I'm not, like you said, if it's opened and there's one missing, I just don't feel comfortable buying it. Even if I wash it, I still wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But what's sad about Kohl's is that they put it all the way in the back like a sales tactic so you could hopefully buy something on your way back out of the store when you're trying to rush out to get out of there. And they give you that coupon like you said, which no one ever really uses. And it's just like people only go there for Amazon. So Amazon's pretty much keeping them alive.
Yeah. And like I said, we got to give them a chance. So just to add, so your department store was your pet peeve, right?
Except no, excessive air conditioning in large places or public places.
So I'm gonna add to your pet peeve. This is not like my turn of a pet peeve, but yeah, what bothers me about the air conditioner, it's also the heat, right? So in the winter, they bump up the heat way too high in places like the bus or in the store, and it's like you go from one extreme to another. There's no like comfortable temperature unless you go home. And then the same thing in the summer. You go from a hot place to an extremely cold place. So I don't want to like say that that's my pet peeve. I'm just adding to yours, and I share your.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what is your own pet peeve?
Another one of mine. I'll tell you. When people say you shouldn't eat this, you should eat that, or that's not healthy, you should eat that. And I'll tell you why. Because for the obvious things like bread, fine, I get it. But then sometimes people say coffee's good for you. You should drink a cup of coffee a day. It helps with weight loss and whatever. Or it's good for your heart, right? As long as you don't overdo it. But then caffeine's bad for you. You shouldn't have any caffeine. And that goes the same with green tea, right? Caffeine.
Coffee's good, but caffeine's bad. Does it make
Well,
sense?
that's what I'm saying. So should I drink
Like
coffee
decaf
or should I
coffee?
not drink coffee? But apparently decaf coffee is also not good for you because of the process that it takes to make it, you know? So wi-
Decaf coffee is like drinking alcohol with no alcohol.
no, decaf coffee just tastes bad for the most part. It still has caffeine in it.
Especially at those diners.
Yeah, oh, diner coffee, I'm not a fan.
Why do you have to have a diner with shitty coffee? Like
You,
why is that a thing?
you know what it is? I think they just have contracts with certain companies and they buy cheap and they don't care. But most diner coffee is just terrible. I deal
Because
with it sometimes if I have
I
to go
want
to a
to love
diner.
diner coffee.
I know.
It's an
I want
experience.
us to be like in Seinfeld where we have a coffee shop and we're always meeting up for good coffee.
And I don't like those coffee shops, with those
You mean like in Manhattan, like in Greenwich Village and stuff?
yeah, or like anywhere that are like those, like the
Like the pretentious hipster coffee shop,
yeah, yeah,
coffee
yeah.
houses? Yeah, I know what you mean.
How's it how's it possible that like they all kind of look the same?
I don't know, but I'll tell you another thing. There's this new coffee shop in the city, and the coffee is terrible, and it's $5. It's overpriced. It's terrible,
And people buy it.
and people buy it because it's hip and cool, and you want to sit in there. Listen, you'll be surprised. You'll go to like a random restaurant, and they have like really good coffee. You know, so yeah, but I guess that's like another pet peeve. Bad coffee. But just to go back, you don't know what to do because they're saying, and I agree, it's true, but caffeine does dry the person up, and the person always needs to be hydrated. So I guess the answer is to just have a balance. But I will say this, it's not just with coffee, because I feel like with other things, I can't, again, I feel like I'm under pressure like I was
Yeah,
with
I
the
feel like
joke
I lost.
telling.
I had like a whole list of pet peeves. Now I forgot them
No,
all.
no, it's not even a list of pet peeves. It's a list of food that you think is good for you, but it's not necessarily good for you. So you're like, what do I eat? Oh, like fish. Fish is healthy. Fish is good. You should eat fish. Wait, don't eat fish because it's loaded with mercury. So damn, what do I eat? You know what I mean?
Cheetos.
What?
Cheetos.
Yeah, Cheetos, sure. All right, so
At least you know that's not. You know it. You know like there's no two sides to it.
what, with Cheetos?
Yeah, it's just like
Oh, it's just bad.
yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
they're good, but it's like unhealthy.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. All these like healthy snacks that are like triple the price, and you go into a pretentious ass store like Whole Foods, and they're like shoving it in your face, like oh, healthy kale chips, and it tastes like ass. It's really bad, and there's really nothing good in Whole Foods if you think about it, right? What's good there? Actually, I do like their bagels. I'm not gonna lie.
So with Whole Foods, I really
They got like
liked
good
their
fish and
pizza when
stuff.
they had it.
That's only because
No,
the
but
guy
some woman told me that
owner of
works
Whole
there.
Foods.
Some woman told me that it's coming back eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, because I saw the coffee shop opened over there, the coffee booth, and I got a cup. It's not bad.
Yeah, but this dude that worked there, he actually made good pizza. So I don't think it's like I don't think it's like exclusive. I think it's only exclusive to certain Whole Foods. It depends on your pizza making skills. But he was like, yeah, the company as a whole changed the ingredients, and now they're like putting like vegan cheese or something like that, or
Vegan
or
cheese.
some sort of other type of
I don't mind
ingredient.
vegan cheese. I don't mind vegan
But
cheese.
the taste definitely fell off. The taste fell off
If
big
you
time.
eat pure vegan cheese, yeah, it sucks. But if you put it into something like a sandwich, it's not a bad substitute. Um, so you said you ran out of pet peeves, or you forgot what your other pet peeves are?
Feel like all this pressure now and
All
like
right, all right. I have one. I have
what is
another
it?
one. Bad service at a restaurant. It drives me nuts. Drives
Yes.
me crazy, man. Like
Yes.
I need good service. And what I hate are the places that, first of all, I thought it was against the law to put gratuity on a check unless you have a party of 8 people or more. Maybe I'm wrong. I got to look it up. But there's places that, they have the worst service in the world. You wonder why. And then there's a 20% gratuity added to the check. That's why, because they don't care. And it's like, is this even allowed? And I fought back once. One time, the service was so bad. It was just probably the worst service in the world. I just couldn't even believe how bad the service was. And the waiter was like pretty much this owner of the place. It was like one of those mom and pop shop places, and he could not care about anything.
I hate that.
Yeah, and me and my friend are eating, and then the check comes, and I'm like, "Sir, you put a gratuity on the part," because I used to be a waiter, okay, and from what I understood when I worked as a waiter, is that you have to have a minimum of 8 people or more to put gratuity. So, and at that time of when I was a waiter, I'm at this restaurant, and he puts a gratuity on a 2 people check. So I'm thinking, that's why he doesn't care because he's going to get the tip anyway. So I'm like, sir, why'd you put a gratuity on a 2 people check? He says, "Because you have to appreciate the service." And then he walks away. I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." I take out the cash minus the gratuity, left it on the table, and we bounced. That's it.
Now that is definitely showing somebody.
I I showed that
You
guy.
show that guy.
I
I wish I
unfortunately
looked up.
couldn't see the look on his
That's
face.
like that. I would have paid to see that.
He probably wouldn't even have noticed.
You probably didn't even notice. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But
I have another pet peeve that I've been actually. I was waiting for something like this to actually air it out.
sure, go ahead.
It's people on LinkedIn. And it's especially though, so obviously there's all these memes about, and there's like all these like meme Instagrams now about like people flexing on LinkedIn.
Flexing,
Yeah, like
like their
oh they're
muscles.
uh,
Oh, you mean like their
flexing.
success?
Yeah, like oh I'm a Columbia grad and I got accepted to work at Goldman Sachs and this and that and
Well,
all this
hold on a
BS.
second. I thought that was the whole point of LinkedIn. You
Yeah, but
have
it's
to
like
flex so you could get jobs
their
and stuff or
title is. So
connections.
I know a guy that I used to work with. I'm not gonna mention any names. Peter. No, I'm kidding. That's not his name. But it's like I know a couple dudes like this. Like they got so many titles. Father, explorer, this, that. It's like, why do you have to tell people you're a father, grandfather, uncle, graduate, scholar, explorer? You know
No,
what I mean? Like,
that's not what bothers me. You know
no,
what
no,
bothers me?
no.
Go ahead.
So listen. So that's one part. But what really bothers me? So I a few people always talk about on LinkedIn how they post these long ass essays and they're always like broken down by paragraphs. How one morning I got up and I looked at my business and I started crying, or
They
because
make it dramatic.
yeah, and then all these people comment, "Oh, you know you go girl, you got this and that." Like this one girl I follow who like is trying to sell cookies. She's from Canada. I don't know her personally, but it's like the same posts like every other week of her
Like, let me
crying.
play the world's smallest violin. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's like
gosh,
if you can't
we
have,
all have struggles,
it's
and she's
pretentious. Pretentious.
and she's stuck on it. She's dwelling on it
I
all the
know.
time,
It's
right?
like, yo, all right. It's like, yeah, we all have problems. Like, well, everyone's so pretentious.
She's just trying to get sales. Got to give her
It's
props.
pity. Yeah, it's pity sales.
Pity sales. Um, speaking of, well, what I was gonna add to yours on LinkedIn is when people have fake awards. Like they'll buy awards and then they'll have fake
Oh yeah,
awards, right?
yeah. I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, come on, man, you
Oh,
didn't really
dude,
accomplish that.
yo,
You
like
paid your way
so
in.
random. Some like
Yeah.
random like
But I guess if it helps your resume,
award company based in UK is gonna award some random dude who works at a
I know
small
I know
ass
multiple
5 people
people.
company.
I know multiple people like that, and I don't want to name names, and I don't even want
I'm
to.
not gonna name names here.
I don't want to definitely. I definitely don't want to name names. Definitely not naming names, but
Nah,
I also don't want to suggest which company they got it from because then they'll be like, "Oh, they're talking about me." But if they're watching this and they're like, "Oh, they're talking about me probably," then yeah, probably we are, but you don't know for sure.
exactly. That's a genius way to put it.
Yeah, well, thanks. But my turn. I just thought of a pet peeve. And this is a really annoying one, okay? When stupid ass celebrities that you actually like say some stupid shit and they ruin it for you, man. I remember back in the day,
Like
Mel
what?
Gibson said something about Jews.
Oh, that
And
one.
because of that, I couldn't watch Braveheart for like 10 years.
Yeah, like you can't, like you want to, but you can't. You
So I
know.
finally saw it because it's a classic. Yeah, all right, it was a good movie. But you know, and this Kanye West recently. Why? Why
I know,
Kanye?
right? Like,
Kanye was arguably one of my favorite, like probably the my favorite rapper
yeah,
because
definitely.
today's rap
Top
sucks.
top
I'm
three.
more of a if I listen to rap, it'll be from the '90s, 2000s, right? And I really liked Kanye West. Maybe not his new music, but I definitely like Kanye West. And now it's like Would I
I
be
didn't
able
like
to?
it. I loved Donda. I loved it.
You liked
I
it,
loved it. Yeah.
so but not part two.
I didn't really listen to it because I'm not gonna buy that bullshit ass stem player, that MP3 player that's
Yeah.
made in like,
Oh, Donda two, you mean?
yeah, that's made on some like weird island on the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, but
It's like
as
$350.
is it?
Yeah, it's man expensive.
Why would I pay for an obsolete product just to listen to Kanye's music? That's ridiculous.
I know, right?
My favorite song by Kanye is "Doopity Doop, Whoop De Whoop." Nah, but when he released that,
That's such a Kanye
we
song.
were just like looking at each other like, "Yo, is this guy for real?"
Nah, yo, I was actually like, yo, this is fire. And it was like a minute and 30 seconds in.
You
I was
thought
like,
like he was gonna
yo,
spit
and
something,
it just
right?
ends. I'm like,
No, and then he just says "Doopity Doop, boop boop boop," and then it just ended, right?
yeah.
I think he was just trolling people. But Kanye is a nutcase. Like, I remember we saw a video of him ranting about Jay-Z after 2 songs in a concert, and then he just walks out. All those people paid so much money. It's crazy.
Someone threw like some
But
money at him.
man, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be now sitting in my car, going through my Spotify playlist,
Bumping
and if
Kanye.
a Kanye song pops up, I wonder how I'm gonna feel now.
We're gonna just listen to it and just go like,
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna listen to it with a grain of salt. Is that what they say? With a grain of salt?
nah, that's, I think that's, you got the wrong phrase.
Okay, I got the wrong phrase, but I think
Take it,
people get it.
take it with a grain of salt.
Take it
Which
with
I
it.
don't even know. What does that mean?
I don't even know what that means, but I guess it's like
Sound.
when you like eating your favorite meat, let's say, but it's very salty,
That sounded weird.
but it's so good.
The way you said that.
Okay, fine. But it's so good, you'll eat it anyway, although it's salty as hell.
I don't know. You know what? I just realized that I have no idea what that phrase means.
Yeah, maybe we'll look it up.
It's like one of those things where like you know what something means, but then when someone actually asks you, you realize you have no idea.
Yeah. Anyway, what else you got?
Yeah, Kanye, man.
Kanye.
Yay.
Yay.
Um, I don't even know, man.
I'll tell you one, but this is a little complicated. House phones.
House phones.
But I'll tell you why. Because of the telemarketing. First of all, nobody uses house phones anymore. Okay? Everybody uses their cell phone.
I got another one. Yeah.
So now the phone rings. It's like, who could it be? And it's nonstop. And then you pick up, hi, would you like to buy something? Or most of the time now it's automated.
But who has house phones though?
Everybody. You know why? You can't get rid of it for 2 reasons. Number one, you've had that phone number for like ever, and you can't just get rid of it. But number two, I've been in this situation where the cable company says it's cheaper for you to actually get a house phone.
Because you also have Wi-Fi. Well, a lot of people don't even have cable.
No, no, they say you get the whole package, cable,
I think now, I think
internet,
for the
and
package
phones.
we have, yeah, yeah.
No, no, but everybody's package.
No,
Yeah, I'm telling you.
no, man.
If you
Dude,
just get
how many-
internet,
bro, how many? I bet you 9 out of 10 people don't have a house phone.
well, maybe
9 out
like
of 10.
modern, people.
Modern.
But
What are you from the 1800s?
either way, I will say this. I'll say this.
Modern people.
I'll say this. Hold on a second. Telemarketing in general is a huge pet peeve of mine.
I know, like, who signs up to be a telemarketer?
That, like, I've had some experience doing that, calling people. Oh, it's a nightmare.
What, as like an actual telemarketing job, or like selling?
No, no, like certain.
Yeah, no.
I
like,
wasn't an actual telemarketer.
no, like calling to sell a product, but like that's I know what you're talking about. That's a little different. But speaking of sales, I hate when people call your phone, your like cell phone, and like like they're trying to sell you a product, like some sort of software, whatever, right? Like, oh hey, how's it going? Good. All right. Did I catch you at a bad time? Yeah. It's always a bad time to catch me on to sell me something. Oh hey, yeah, my name is Peter, and it's like, bro, just get to the point. What do you want? Like I'm not. And then like if you tell them, no, I'm not interested, it's like, bro, first of all, you're not even speaking to the right person. Like, I have no decision making ability in my company at all, especially for something like this. And like, we don't even need this product that's useless. That's a major pet peeve.
It's like in Seinfeld when George Costanza called. Hello, you want to buy a computer? No? Why not? All right, good answer. But he should have called and been like, computers. What? Computers. It's the future. You should get one because blah blah blah. I don't know.
That's not a bad approach.
Right? It's like,
No, if someone sends like a cold email and it's actually good, I'll tell them like, yeah, this is cool. You know, give them that pat on the back type of thing.
yeah. And then one time I tried to be nice to a telemarketer. It was a guy from DHL. Um shipping
DHL.
DHL. And I just wanted to be nice, you know. So I heard him
It's like a
out.
Boost Mobile of shipping
No,
companies.
they just do international.
Right.
So I spoke to him. I was nice. I said, look, what we do here, we don't do international. But if it ever occurs that we do need it, I have your information. I'll contact you. And this guy started bothering me like every day. Hey, remember me? We just spoke, and I'm like, dude, I told you, like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
That's the thing. Yeah, I try to just to tell them like honestly, like we're not gonna we don't need this. I don't need this. We and then like obviously so they think like you're just saying no and you could be sold to, but sometimes they gotta get a clue like it's just wasting their time. You're trying to help them and instead they're just keep because I think you're like rejecting them and they want you more type of thing.
yeah, yeah, maybe. All right, anything else?
It's probably more that I could think of, but we should probably save it for
Maybe
next time.
maybe we'll do a part two, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.